So we're live. We'll be with you in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and make sure that the mics are working, that everything is set up correctly, and that we will be good to go. We have a whole tech story. We're hoping that we got good things for this video. So we'll be with you in just a moment. We're so glad to have you here. How's everything look? The frame is good? Okay, are we too far up? We're okay? All right. Okay.
We're just inside.
Yeah, I don't mind if we need to be a little closer though so we can see everything. Whichever way it's gonna be. Hello, hello. Hi guys, how's the picture? Like I'm wondering, like, am I okay? Can you see everything okay? Hoping for it. Patty, thanks for keeping me straight, sweetheart. I wouldn't even know what to do. I actually want to talk to you about that, by the way. I'm like, yeah, we got plans. All right. Thank you. Hello, Sharon. Thank you. Hi, how you doing? Oh, so good. Okay, perfect. Hi, sweetheart. Jen, I expect you to make all of these, okay? All right, so here's what we did. Last week, we did our first streaming, and we thought we were good on everything. We had done everything, and I could not upload. We had to cut the video. We couldn't upload. We didn't know what was going on. So after that video, we contacted Verizon, and we've upgraded to the fastest internet that we have in our area. In addition to that, we got all new router, we got all new extender, booster. We've done everything. So we are hoping that we're there. Now, I have also heard that there's a setting on my phone I might need to adjust, but we don't want to, I call it Mario Kart in my house, because if you saw me play Mario Kart, you would understand what I mean. We don't want to like shift everything one way and then not know what the problems are and keep throwing things at it. So we know that as we change something and we progress, we have to troubleshoot it as we go. So we're hoping for good things today. Okay, so I saw some of my lavender ladies are on. Hello, hello. Hi, Darlene. Like I saw some of my lavender ladies are on. All right, so they actually got, my Lavender Ladies Card Club got an introduction to this card that I'm releasing with the Design Space file. Here it is. This is the one they made. Look at that. All the things. Am I right? Okay. And I want to thank Marianne Penn shared the original file for this. And she's when you click on my file, if you scroll down, you'll see it. But I have modified the file in several ways at this point. So I just want to thank her for her inspiration, because I think we have such a wonderful collective crafty community of people who share, and we're planning on sharing a lot more, which is why a lot of my files are going to be going straight to public. All right, so here we go. Happy Christmas in July, everybody. Are we ready? Shazam. Here it is. Merry Christmas. I think this one turned out really good. I have lots of ideas for words to go in here. You know, you could do nothing on these two and have hope or love. I sat around thinking of 6-letter words. Not as easy as you think. Hold on, guys. I got to grab a drink. It's the first time I've coughed today. It's only because I'm live. All right. So I want to share the details on this. What, hon? What was shaking?
The camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's because I walked, right? Okay, so I am going to share the details, but I want to make an announcement first. I am not here to help you save paper, right? Not here to help you save paper. I know more of you who are like, I have so much paper. I just don't know what to do with it. Oh my goodness, I have so much paper. I'm never going to get through it. I'm going to be sharing a collection of projects. Now, if you need this to be exactly like this, I know some of you are like that. I will put together these papers for you. I know I only have one pack of this Holly and Ivy left, and then we're sold out. But I do have the single sheets, and I could put together cards for you on that. But please, please, please watch it for the technique. Watch it for the process. I'm going to share all the manual measurements as well. And by the way, this is you either need to put this in a little box to mail it, or this is a hand delivery one. Okay, look how thick it is. Yeah, my version's even thicker than this one. Let me show you. This. I don't know. Let me see. Did I go thicker? I feel like I went a little thicker. And I don't mind, because I would hand deliver this. And you could put a belly band on this and then just decorate the belly band. But I feel like it's just begging to be left open. I just feel like it's begging to be left open. And then, of course, you put your Christmas message, you sign it, you do everything, and you put it right on the back, which is becoming so popular. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we get started?
No, but Sharon Roselli said, woohoo design.
Okay.
Jay Noob said, super cute.
All right. I'm also going to make an announcement.
Patty said you could do Noel.
Oh, you could do Noel. Noel is a great one. Thank you, Patty. That one's fantastic.
Sharon Roselli, love it.
Okay, good. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm also going to let you know that tomorrow I will be dropping my next Cricut class. This next Cricut class is, because I do have a design space file for this, even though I'm going to share manual measurements. Our next Cricut class focuses on intricate projects that are interactive that also need instructional guides put in. We will be doing the instructional guide feature that's available in Design Space and customizing your files so that when you go back to a file, it isn't just a hot mess. You can actually look at that file, see what it is, how to make it, and have instructions. And I'm just going to share with you right now, remember Christmas in July, I'm also doing winter. I want to share with you the project we're going to be doing in that Cricut class. Okay, I'll be doing one in the day, one in the evening. Here it is. That Yeti is so cute, isn't he? This is the back. This is where you do all your writing. All right. And there's it is. Whee! This is how it works. Do I need to show it again? Have to show it again? No? Okay. So here it is. So you're going to learn about how to do intricate projects like this and leave instructions and everything, how to code your file on what you want to do. And we're going to share that. This has been a key for me to be able to go back to projects for a long time. And I think many of you are ready for this point. So thanks for taking all those Cricut classes so we could get there. All right. I'm going to do it one more time. I love to play with them. Look at him. He's so cute. So cute. Okay.
Sharon Roselli loves it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. I really like that one too, I have to tell you. All right, let's dive in on today's project. 80 million cuts. When you ask me how many, 80 million. But here's the thing. Throw all your papers at it. Throw every single paper at it. This is obviously going to be part of the Creative Art Challenge this month. You throw every single paper at it and use your papers up. I have so many of you telling me that you have too much paper. Well, if you have too much paper, I'm here to help you use it. I'm not going to help you save paper. Think this one's a lot? You should see the card I just did. I just showed you. All right, let's go ahead and get some prepping done. I have some Memento ink. I'm using Memento because I need to color this right away. So since I need to color it right away, it means I'm going to use Memento. If I didn't have to color it right away, I would use my VersaFine. All right, I just use what I need when I need to use it. All right, I'm just going to load this in my Misty. Just so I can get a nice double stamp on it. I really love this card. I think it is definitely just one of those cards that you're like, ooh and ah, and people are like, how did you do that? And I love all the techniques that are there. So there we go. I just stamped the tree off twice. And in case you're wondering what I'm using, you're going to see me using this one quite a bit. I'm using the Holly and Ivy Stamp and Thin Cut set. I designed some cards with this actually last year, so I have plenty to share, a lot of sketches. I got a cute one with the little skates that I have. I think the card that I just shared, which I'll be doing a video on the manual measurements for the one from the Design Space class as well. I think even that one, you could do just such a beautiful thing, having some trees in some woods when you open it up. All right, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. I want to do a couple of things in order just so that they can, you know, have some time. I have the 80 million pieces. Okay, I am using, what is this one called? Oh, hold on, guys. I was just getting ready to reach out to Patty and say one day, I would tell you one day I would get my life together, but I don't like to tell lies. All right, it's this one. Here, do you think they heard that on camera? This is the nested key plate etched metal dies. I don't like to do a one and done. So what I've done with those is I've taped off these two together, and they are, let me count out for you guys so I have it. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. They are 5 and 6. And one of the things I'm finding is I love that the dies have to be snipped because it tells me perfectly where I have to line them up. And then I just have them taped together and ran through, and they give us the frame. And I did the frame out of this Holly and Ivy paper, which if you need this, reach out to me and I'll put together a collection of just these supplies since I'm so low on those. But once again, any you have. All right, I know a lot of people like to have similar colors underneath, and I cut this frame out multiple times. I'm never going to try to get foam tape on something like this. So what I do is I use my scraps. Any paper that I'm interested in destashing, any papers that I have, I will use. Now, I meant to put the papaya one underneath of this because that is the closest to my paper, but things happen. I will sometimes just put the closest one to my paper underneath. But you can see, these are all just scraps. Are you guys picking up this crazy thunder? We're going to fight for it. If something happens with this and it knocks our internet back, I will see you next week because we have plans to be here with you guys every Tuesday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. I want to share all kinds of new things, and you'll see, for those of you who are in the Creating With You exclusively group, you're going to see a special video posting in there. It will be me, surprise, that I'll just be going over a couple of things with everybody and sharing some stuff. Okay, just lining those up. And the reason why I'm lining them up is I would never do, ever, would I try to get thin cut or try to get foam tape on this. I mean, maybe I would, let's be honest, it's me, but this is just so much easier. All right, I'll put these aside and save them for another day. And I've been making a lot of these frames. At some point, you just have to let it go. Like, what are you going to do with these, right? You just have to let it go. You can write cuts up on them. You can put them by your phone to do phone messages. I mean, maybe you can throw them on the swap table. At some point, I just have to say I'm going to stop. Just stop.
Says it's thundering and raining by her too.
It gets. Oh, she's got the same storm. It was a dark and stormy night. Okay. So now I think I have the front to my card. Let me just double check. Yeah. Any embossing folder you have that you like. I've done this one that I had right in my stash. All right, that's it. Just embossing folder from your stash. I did this one. I have a lot of 2D close to my heart embossing folders, and I don't plan on getting rid of them. For me, many of my craft supplies have been an investment. And because they are an investment, I want to use them. I want to get my money's worth out of them, which means I'm going to make allowances. I'm going to do swaps. I'm going to change things out. All right, I'm just grabbing a baby wipe, and I'm going to grab that white piece of paper for the front of my card. Okay, and I'm going to give you all the measurements at one time when we're done. I'm just wiping this with a baby wipe. And the reason why I'm doing that is in the event that my embossing folder is like really tight, wiping it with a baby wipe. I don't know why I did both sides. I normally only do one side. It will just make it so it does not rip through my paper. So, baby wipe will do that. We'll help you out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw this through. there it is. So the baby wipe doesn't really do anything to it, but if you are going to get baby wipes, look at this huge pack. I got these for $1.25 at the dollar store. But what I do is see how it's like fragrance free. I try to get the most natural ones that I can. Okay, so that way you're not putting lotion or anything onto your paper. Okay, this I want to go nice and flat, so I'm going to just kind of lay, well, I want it to dry flat, not kill my embossing. All right, so I have a few other things here, a lot of pieces, but most of what you're going to do is going to be twice. All right, okay, let's go ahead and start giving some measurements. Okay, it is an A2 card. That is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. Now I will let you know that I'm planning on doing an entire series of 5 by 7 and 7 by 5 cards. These. I'm going to be your new. I am not here to help you save paper. All right. I should show them another one of those. Let's see, let me pull another one. You guys know before design goes live, I have to play with it. So here's another one. Look. It says Roar, blowing birthday wishes. And I learned something from every card I make. This one I learned I don't like things sticking over the window. But look at my seam inside. It's so adorable. Yeah, but it's good enough, right? There it is. So I learned something each time I make one, but I am going to be doing a whole series of 5 by 7 cards. I feel like we can handle 5 by 7 cards, and I have so many, so many 4 1/4 A2, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cards. All right, I'm going to start creasing this, but let's go ahead and get you some measurements. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. I had fun with that. And guess what? Here's what I want to be working with, but it's Christmas in July. I squirreled, guys. Look at this. You know I'm dying. Look at them. Aren't they adorable? You know that card that I just showed you, these are the pieces because I'm doing a dinosaur one and I'm using some of those zoo papers with it. Super cute. I have a whole set of dinosaur projects coming up. I have like, I don't know, there's 3 or 4 of them. Okay, so you're going to need a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is the green. And then you're just going to progress in 2 more times with that. So you go to the next one's going to be 4 by the 5 1/4. Then you're going to go to 3 3/4 by 5. You're going to use your frame piece and your center focal. Now, the stunning part of this card is on the inside. So my suggestion is decorate it a little simply on the outside. I colored the tree. I did this flick technique to add texture to my tree and my little pot. I'm going to share both of those with you. I've been taking, I've been doing a lot of coloring classes and different things, but I have things to share. And then that's it for the front. So whatever you're going to put in there, you might want to hang the little ice skates in there. Another thing you could do is if you took this piece here and you only did this in the color, you could fit that back in there, and then, you know, multiple layers. You can just keep going with this. You can get as fancy as you want, but a little simple here, and there you go. All right, so now on the inside we have the 4 by 5 1/4 and the 3 3/4 by 5 2. Now it's personal preference. You can mix it all up if you want, but for some odd reason, I tend to like my papers to match on these. I think that's just more of a personal thing, because I think if somebody sent me one and it was all different papers, I would be great. Okay, I want to talk about this little banner piece that's coming across. If you did not double layer all of this up and then put the Mary on it and do all of that, this would be a lot thinner. That's where all that dimension, all that thickness is coming in your card. So if you don't need all the layers, you could really tone that down a lot. Another thing is you could, instead of using, I'm using Photoplay white cardstock, and that is a heavier weight. Maybe use the Hammermill regular cardstock. That would hold it. The spring mechanism that I'm going to show you, we're going to be using those for all kinds of projects. It's super easy. All the lavender ladies will tell you. All right, let's go ahead and do this piece. Now, this piece is really adjustable, and this piece is actually supposed to come out to 7 3/4. But when I modified the Cricut file, it modified it by size portions, and I ended up with some off sizes, and I just didn't want to go in and correct the entire file. So for this, you would actually do one that is, you want to do like 5 7/8 because you don't want to deal with the point peeking out beyond. So you want to do like 5 7/8, and then you would do like the 7.5, for example. Okay. But I'm going to say that this is like 7.
16ths, 5 and 7/16ths.
Yeah, but they could just do 7 3/4.
You were saying 7/8.
Oh, sorry. 3/4. Sorry. 7. You could go to the 3/4. And then what you're going to want to do though is score it right in half. And after you're done scoring in half, and I highly suggest you make a template. You only need 2 templates. All right. So when you have that done, all right, and you're good, you now need to cut this off. And what you can see is it should be cut at to the 2-inch mark. So when you put that score line in, you're going to go from your score line to the 2, from your score line to the 2. All right, all right in your world. Everyone's good with that. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and start working my score line. I do think you could do some hammer mill. You could also do, as much pattern as you want. You see very little pattern paper here. If you are needing to destash, then destash it. I mean, you could use throwaway paper here, but I keep throwaway paper. I hope everybody knows throwaway paper just means it's paper I'm never going to use for anything. It's paper I would throw away. So instead of throwing it away, I think I have a demo. Yeah. The perfect example, I make demos out of my throwaway paper. It could be paper that I just is not my style. I buy cheap $5 paper pads to have throwaway. Okay, so now we have this. Now, for this, oh yeah, I wanted to share that. When you go to make this, if you're a person who wants to do the template and you want to trace them, make 3 of them. Okay, 3, keep 1 just like this. Take the second one and shave 1/8 of an inch here, 1/8 of an inch here, 1/8 of an inch here, and 1/8 of an inch here. And that piece will become this one right here, this gold one. All right, then, oh, sorry, you only need 2 because you flipped that one over. Sorry, you only need 2 because you will use that template on one side and template on the other side to do your pieces. Okay, and then on your other one, you take 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and that gives you the one that has all the trees and the presents and all back there. Please tell me if that makes sense. And then what you can do is you can measure that out and feel comfortable cutting it, or you can draw it with a light pencil and then erase it. And if you're going to be doing projects where you erase, I love the high polymer erasers. All right, so now you'll have that. We're almost done. And now this should be your 2 inches, but like I said, my piece is just a little bit short. So you would have this piece here would be 2 by 10 1/4. 2 by 10 1/4. Okay. And then all you're going to do is fold it in half. All right. Are you good? And then you will have that portion there. And then you're going to score. And I can't give you exact because mine is just a little bit short. But then when you have that half mark, whatever it is, so it's going to be a little bigger than this. It's like going to be 5 and whatever. Use a calculator. Like, seriously, I love a calculator. But like this one here is like close to 5. So you might be close to 5. Divide it in thirds. You're going to score it 2 times. You're scoring it on the third. Flip it around. Score it, score it. Now, what I will do is I will try to measure this one out and get it for you. But I'm going to give you this in case this one's easier for you and you don't mind it being a tiny bit smaller, okay? So this one is 10 1/8. All right. And then this is just shy. So I'm at 1. And what's this? I'm a 16th off from 1 3/4. What is that?
Are you heavy?
No, I'm short.
You're short?
Yeah.
3/4?
Yeah. I'm 1/16. So go 1/16 before that.
11/16.
11/16 right there. There you go. Okay. So that's like 1 11/16. So sorry. That's why the math will work out better. And then this one is like 3 1/8. And this one is like on the 5. Like mine's not perfect. So that's why I have it. This one is 6 3/4. And then this one is 8 and let's see, what's See, I'm not quite at 8. I'm a little over 8 3/8. So whatever the 16th is before 8 1/2. Whatever that is before 8 1/2. Okay, 7/16. See, and mine's not perfect. So it is forgiving. You only care that it's going to do this. So it is forgiving. All right. I feel like I complicated it more by offering the measurements. Okay, let's dive in. If anyone has any questions, we are live for a reason. So keep on chatting, people. All right. I'm going to build, as I flip through all these pieces, right? Crazy pieces. I'm going to build my front first because I want to put my front on last. I do not want to deal with the lumpins and bumpins. So we're going to play decrease our pieces. I'm going to get out my big gun. I'm going to put a lot of adhesive today. So the big gun. And this is a concertina card. And I mean, people are really intimidated by them, but you don't need to be. Everything is just one step and then another step and then another step and then another step. Mine's crooked. Can you see how it's crooked? I don't know if I can. And I was like, I'm going to use a lot of adhesive. Okay, let's see. I was like, I'm going to use a lot of adhesive. And then I came in. The worst part is, guys, I cut this piece. So I didn't even let the Cricut do it. I was like, I'm trying to get ready. All right, there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my piece that I chose. This is what I chose, but like, you know, anything would work. It's still a little wet, so I'm going to work on my tree. Okay, for my tree colors, I already have an ink that is a marker that's dying, and I have it ready to re-ink. But these are the colors that I am choosing. I'm working with the Spectrum Noir markers. And I'm working with brown or earth brown blend, brown gray blend, alpine green blend, gold yellow blend, and dull green blend. All right, I'm going to be starting, and I have my chart over here, and I'm going to be starting with the dull green blend. I'm starting with the dull green blend, the medium. And the reason why I have chosen this is I actually like the color that it provides underneath. So if anybody has any questions about my coloring, let me know. All right, I'm going to do 2 sections here. Now the thing with alcohol markers is they need saturation to blend, so you can't just move ahead super fast. I'm going to the medium now on the alpine. The alpine is our darker one. Okay, and I'm not worried about full coverage. Do you see that? See how there's a little peeky-boo through there? Okay. So I'm kind of doing these, and I might get full coverage here and there. I'm going to go over when it dries, so it's going to be okay. And now I'm, oops, gone to the dark. It's on this one. And I'm just going to color the first, don't worry, I'm going to hold it up, of each section a little over, just like that. And now I'm going to kind of do the points at the bottom. Just like this. That's going to be level 1. Okay. And now I'm going to kind of move through this a little bit faster, just completing that exact same technique all the way down the tree. This would be a great time for someone to share a recipe. By the way, the medium is the one that, the medium on my dull green is the one that's sitting over waiting to be refilled here. I told George, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it through the video. And I'm going to try to move a little faster as I go down for the simple reason that my sections are bigger. Like, just hold out, baby. Just hold out. They always say that squeak noise is is the sign. All right. Okay, we just had a brutal storm, George, and we're still live and we're not buffering. Oh my gosh, guys. I am so excited. You know what? Answered prayers. Once again, this is not where I have to really focus on getting, oh, that was funny, every single point. Because I'm going to come back and do some feathering in there. Okay. Oh, got a second section to do there. I only did one. I try to be a little more careful around the edges, but there we go. Okay, let's see if it's gonna, I might do one section on this one, just if there's a chance that the marker can rest, because I have the biggest section coming up, and that color variation, it actually makes a difference. Okay. One of the things that's nice about this kind of a coloring technique where you're actually letting it dry at a certain point is it's a little more forgiving. If you were doing a full color blend on this, you would definitely need to work each section before it dried. My last project, I had to switch markers, and now that's what I remember, and I would have to go back and forth between my darks, and that's why I keep thinking I'm using the dark on the other one. Just kind of getting the details on the point, but they don't even have to be perfect. All right. Come on, baby, one more. Do you guys push your markers? I'm curious. I have been doing a lot of research on markers lately because I am coloring more. I recently knew that I was going to be making the jump to looking at some other markers just for myself. Whatever you guys have, you guys have, we all have different preferences. But it all came down to a blue. I was like, I really need this blue. And I worked and worked and worked, and I could not match it. It just drove me nuts. And I think that's why so many people who get into coloring, you ask them, and they have, oh gosh, they have omnis, they have spectrum noirs, they've got what are the ones? Ohuhus. Ohuhus are huge right now. They've got so many different markers, and there's so many great products on the line. I know Altenew has their own markers. There's so many. All right, just coloring that last one in. I want to make sure that I get all of the edges. Now on my last one that I did, I actually ended up coloring this entire section in and then had to go back and lighten it. I couldn't stop coloring it there and looking at that as a section. Drove me nuts. Okay, so here's what we have. So here's all the coloring. I want to show you the two of them next week. And you can see how this one now has gotten a little darker with the feathering, and it's not as separated. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to, I had it, the medium alpine. And we are going to just go flick, flick, flick. It's when it's dry, you will pick up textures when it's dry. If this was all wet and I put, see how it's like filling it in now? The difference between here and up here. If I did this while it was wet, it would just absorb and blend the color. It would blend it beautifully, but you would not be able to create different textures and stuff like that. How you get that is if you do it when it's dry. Okay, and down here. And some people call this flicking, some people call it feathering. There's so many. Okay, so now I'm here. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right over just a little bit, very, very little bit. I don't want to lose my coloring, that dark. I'm going to kind of go over it and saturate it just a little bit. It will reblend. If you wanted to sit here and work it, you could reblend it. Kind of going right on the other side of it. And remember, I'm not looking for this to be blended. I want to see the separate colors. So this would be the next step. I'm adding a little bit of that flicking so that it doesn't look like I just drew a straight line. Okay. A little bit more flicking and a couple of spots. There we go. And it looks like totally different jewelry. All right, there you go. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Now, this is going to continue to dry and blend. While it dries, it's going to cure into the paper. It's going to blend a little bit. All right, but if anyone has any questions about that, let me know. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, this is brave. This is the second time today I did it. I do not color all my stuff and then thin cut it out. Because if I mess up the thin cut when I go to cut it out, I feel like, my craft world is coming to an end. So normally what I do is I stamp it and then I cut them all out. And if I know I'm going to be working with a project a lot, I use these cases, but you could use anything. Use whatever works for you. You could use Ziploc bags. I do a lot of, you guys don't want to know about these dinosaur feet. They are the cutest things ever, but notice how many of them I have. Okay, so I will stamp a bunch of things and then I cut them out and then I color them. Because if I mess one of these up, I'm like, oh, poo-poo, I messed it up. If I mess one of these up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. That's the voice in my head that I sound like. It's a real story. Okay, so I know we had a lot to cover. We are going to do gold yellow blend. My favorite for gold underneath with stickles on the top. And I'm pushing it, I'm grabbing the point. Nice, and then I'm just pulling it in. And I'm going to be putting stickles on that. We don't need any shading. It's done. Let's go to the brown gray blend. I'm going to go with the lightest, and I'm going to color this part right here. That would be the part that holds that on the tree. I don't like when they're gold. I don't like when they're the same color. I feel like it makes them look weird. All right, and now let me show you. This was another dry on technique. If you notice, my little pot here kind of has like a little diagonal stripe and some shading to it. We're going to go ahead and do that. All right, this is the lightest. Okay, just got it a little saturated, and now I'm going up to the medium. And this is when I'm shading. So laying down shades, so to speak, while it's wet. Okay. There we go. I just put a little bit around it like that. I'm going to let that dry. And I see I have a little bit outside the line right here with my green. This is a colorless blender that I have. Oh, Sharon, if you're still on, honey, I have your colorless blender.
Great color.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. I have this colorless blender for you. It is it's on the table for you because you're coming to the class tomorrow. Okay, now I'm going straight to the medium to do the trunk. Okay, I have colorless blender right there. I almost made a faux pas. Let me stop. And for those of you who don't know, a big thing about colorless blending, yes, it takes away, but if you want to use the colorless blender, it doesn't go on after your color, it goes on before your color. So you would, for example, put your colorless blender down like this, and then you would come in to blend your color. Okay, and kind of do like one of these. If you do it the other way, it just like bleaches it and puts it on the top. See? Okay, I don't use that technique. This one, I don't use that. I'm keeping it real. All right, I'm going to let that dry. I'm just going to set that aside for a second. I might as well try to finish it. Let's rebel it. Normally, I really want to make sure that that area is done, but I think I'm just not going to shade it like I did. This one's nicely shaded. All right, I'm putting the light on top, even though I'm not a fan of that. I really feel like you work alcohol markers, light to dark, kind of like watercolors. Okay, there we go. Okay, now to get those diagonal lines, if you will. If it's dry, I can just kind of go on the top and put these little extra lines in. And then I'm going to go around my pot again. You could also do this with the colorless blender. And there you go. Ta-da. Now it'll absorb and go in. All right, let's put that aside. I don't normally color on camera, so you guys are like getting all the things. And if anyone has any more questions about the sizes of this card, please let me know. I will put that Cricut file out with pictures. I'm going to add pictures of my projects now to my Cricut files for you guys. That way you'll be able to see them. So I want to do pictures of them, the fronts, the inside, the whole bit. There we go. Just working with the triangle pieces right now from the Holly Jolly or Holly and Ivy collection. I love this collection. I have some because I got it. We are doing a Christmas in July sale that will be coming up. The dinosaurs aren't on it. Just kidding. Sorry, just kidding. But that will be, for those of you who are coming to the crop, it will be next week. So at the crop, we will have a big Christmas in July sale for you guys there to celebrate that. Those of you who are local and able to make the event. We're also treating you guys to full Christmas dinner, but don't tell anybody. All right. We're doing baked ham and all the things. Okay. Hopefully we have a nice cranberry spritzer kind of drink for you. It'll be non-alcoholic, don't worry. Oh, that would bother me. There we go. Get that down. Okay, I'm using this mini dot paper, and I'm sorry that I don't know the color of this. I should. Boxwood. I think it's called boxwood. I love it. Another thing about these papers, why they work, is if you have white core paper, which, you know, we all used to have white core paper and it wasn't a hardship, but I would have stayed away from certain stuff like this, or I would have had to color it with markers or ink it or any of that. There's no white core. You're not going to see the white core. So I think that's another reason why I'm really loving all of the interactive things. Look, that one's off. We're just going to go with it at this point, okay? All right, so these would be good to go. This would be good to go. Let's put this on. I'm just playing decrease the pieces at this point, and it's a lot of pieces. This glitter paper is very thick, so that's adding more to it. Maybe you want to try to thin yours out. I do not feel the need to thin mine out. I will put mine in a box and a rigid mailer. Or I'll make a hinged envelope. Have you guys ever made the hinged envelopes where you make your own envelope but you add the second score line so that it's bigger? Let me know. If not, we can I can tackle that for you guys as well. A box, one of the little folders to put it in. There we go. All good things. Okay, so all those pieces are on, and I'm right now, the only thing I'm doing is decrease the pieces. Okay, for these, here they are. And of course, I double layered up. My pieces that fit on this came out at 1.5. I'm gonna, when I add my glitter, I'm gonna use these two. I'm gonna use goldenrod and what?
Your paper, gold or yellow?
It says gold, but there's 5 different golds. Am I right? So you have gold that's like brown gold. You have gold that's like antique gold. You have gold that's bright gold. It drives me insane. I can't even tell you. Okay.
So your glitter paper,
yeah.
Okay, that's what Sharon is.
Yeah, honey. It's a gold, right? 1.5 by 1 3/4 on this. And then of course you're gonna just go 1/4 of an inch smaller for the one on top, but you're adding so many layers. But go for it. Use up your paper and go for it. All right. Guys, I'm sorry. I know they're both white on both sides. It's one of those things, I can't stop doing it, okay? Like, I'm so used to flipping my paper over that I feel like if I don't flip it over, I've done something wrong. All right, we're going to put all these down. Now, I made a list of some words that will work. The 4-letter words will work with leaving the ends. And like if you did snow, you would be able to do snowflakes on one end. I feel like this is folded. Yeah, I thought so. This one's off. Let me just flip that real quick. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right. And I will talk about this. You could just flip it back if it's the other way. Just get good score lines on it. Okay, so you could do the snow or the, you could do love with 2 hearts, for example. Patty had mentioned Noel. I think that one is a good one. Somewhere is my 4 and 5 letter word list. So obviously there's happy, there's merry. There was another one. And then there's 6 letter words. The 6 letter words were the hardest for me. Like, you put orange on it. No, just kidding. All right, here we go. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing. And so I have the mini dot, and just to let you know, the mini dot is also a little thicker. These are going with thinner papers would really cut this down. It just does not bother me. I know some of the lavender, I have a card class and they go by the lavender ladies because they all love purple, just so you guys know. They all made the birthday version one, and I don't know what you guys think about it. I feel like it's worth being puffy. Like this is just this is not, you're not going to make these for everybody. And for those of you, I know we have a couple in our group who are thinking about selling cards and stuff like that. This is impressive. This is, a really impressive one. It could come in like a little card box or a little card folder in addition, Okay, so now we're going to work it. Working this is kind of important. We want it to flip open so nicely. So back and forth is best. All the back and forth. There we go. Okay. We're getting so close to our final pieces. But remember, they're all in the file and you can reach out to me. These have little score lines. The score lines don't matter. They're just in the file. Okay. So this is, and these can be different sizes. Just say like 1 3/4. Mine's a little over. These are paper springs. Paper springs, basically. Okay, so you take your piece. You're going to fold your piece in half. Then you're going to fold this one back to this one. And then you're going to fold this one back to this one. And you will make a W. Okay, that's what little paper springs are. So you just take your paper, you fold it in half. A score line is nice. It's not necessary. And then this goes back to this. This goes back to this. Ta-da. Okay, does anybody have any questions about these? And you want to keep these springy. Keep them springy. So don't, bend them a lot and work them. You need them to stay springy. See the springiness? All the springiness, right? All right. Okay, so now we are going to start to put some of our inside together. Because I need to decrease more pieces because I need more room. Just kidding. All right. I'm just going to go with my regular adhesive again. This is inside the card, so you don't need as much. I feel like because of the thickness of the card and it might bow, you will see I'll add more when I put my front panel on because, I want to make sure that stays on. Okay. My score line is right here. And once again, if you need to use paper up, colored card bases, all the things. You do colored card bases, do everything. That's what I'm going to start to announce. I can't really see it because it's white. Okay, there it is. The struggles, right? I'm going to start just introducing myself as hello, I'm Tina, the traveling scrapbooker who's not here to help you save on paper. All right, so now we're going to work with our triangle, our angled piece first. You can see it's already looking so pretty. I really do hope you guys just really love this project. I thought it was a lot of fun. All right, we're going to use some liquid glue, and we have our little W. Okay, and if it matters, I have it this way. Oh wait, I lied. I have it this way. Okay, a little bit here. Oh, I slammed that down. All right, and then you want to just put it somewhere in here. Don't try to put it all the way on the end. Doesn't need to be all the way on the end. Like a little bit in. Like, 1/2 inch or whatever in. There we go. And we're just going to hold for a second. Ask you how your day is. How's everything working out? All right, if you have a set of thin cuts alphabet that you like that are 1 inch, those are going to be perfect. My letters are at 1 inch. Okay, so there it is. And now what I'm going to do is here's my score. You don't want the tip to go past. So I'm just going to put it there in the center and just hold it for a second. And I'm going to add some glue now just to my little tab, my little spring. I think I have a little bit too much. It's okay. I'll wipe that right on my shirt. All right. Here we go. Closing up. We're just going to hold. Now, another thing you can do is you can just take acrylic blocks and put them on the top, a stamp pad, not a super light one. The close to my hearts are magnetic. Like I wouldn't use one of these because they're too light, but there you go. That's going to sit for a minute just so we can move on. All right. If you're binge watching a TV show, maybe this is where, I don't know, maybe you're doing Magnum PI or something. Maybe you give yourself time to watch a little bit of Tom Selleck. Okay. There you go. All right. I did not cut multiple of these to back them because it's already so thick. And I cut this out of the leftover pieces from my front frame. What was left on this? This is a very odd sheet of paper in all the best ways. And let me show you which one I used. Okay, it has this beautiful plaid on the one side. And I almost used this actually. And then has this on the other. So I cut this down and used this portion for the card. And then my second piece is this one. So you can see, this has 12 pieces in it. This paper pack has 12 pieces in it. But if you are interested in those, let me know. I would use all the papers, of course. Use all your papers. Okay, I want to go ahead and get this down. And I think assembly lining these would be great, but maybe make your first one with some throwaway paper. You can always reach out to me, whether it's here on the YouTube channel. You can contact me via email or text me or message me on Facebook on the Creating With You page. You guys know how to get a hold of me. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's the wrong side. There we go. Just so many opportunities here to use up papers. And when I hear people saying, oh, I love the new paper, but I have so much paper, I'm like, no problem. Let me help you use that up. How's everybody doing? How you doing, George? Yeah, everybody's fine. You're fine. We're fine.
Sharon did say that this card is totally worth doing an extra for an envelope, I guess.
Oh, great. I'm so glad to hear that. I know you made the birthday one, and I just thought it was a keeper. I feel like this is definitely not a card that I want to do one and done. It looks so much more difficult than it actually is. I mean, you could really simplify it if you want, but once you just make the card without all the extra pieces, you'll see mechanism-wise, it's super easy. All right, right out of the Holly and Ivy, I can't wait to use some more of these. There's a Merry Christmas. When you stamp the Merry Christmas, the Merry and the Christmas are separate. That is a huge value because if you are doing cards, to cut them out, you don't want them to, and you want to put them one on top of the other. You can't do that if they run all one way and they cut the sentiments out. You have to do this funky little cut, this, that, and the other. So I like that. I also then cut 2 more of them out in glitter paper. So I'm going to take my stamped one. I stamped this with a scarlet, just like a dark red. And when I put this on, because this is the same size, what I'm going to do is just let it peek out the top a little bit there, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to add some more glue. And I'm going to put this one on. And I'm going to let this one peek out the bottom a little. Now, it doesn't give the full shadow effect, but it gives enough. And if you look at it here on my card, it works. It works. It works. I like it. Okay, so there you go. We're just going to put that one down. I'm going to go ahead and move back over to here just to kind of keep things going. All right. This is the white one that we embossed. It's all nice and dry now. Simple baby white will save you, especially for new embossing folders in particular. They can be so tight. Here we go. Nice and flat and beautiful. And I used very little paper for this, right? This one's not my record for a card, but with all the layers on the frame and everything, it might be. I mean, there's a lot going on here. I want to make sure that I get enough glue on this. I realized I ran it a little light, but since it's going on top of the embossing, I want to make sure it all sticks. Oh, look at that. I love this die set. I told you guys when I started to use it how much I loved it. We're going to be making some cards that are actually, this is the shape of the card. We're going to do custom card bases with it. And yeah, I love all the things about this one. Okay. And it's a good choice on the embossing folder. All right. I like the embossing folder too. Okay. Look at that. It worked. All right. We're going to flip it on this side now. And we're going to grab our other one. And I'm going to, my W is facing, I'm going to say the open part is to my left now. All right. I don't know if that matters. I think it makes it just a little bit tighter or something, but they'll give. Okay. Once again, about the same thing, you know, 1/2 inch from the side. You don't put it over here. You know, it has to be close enough to the edge, but it doesn't have to be on the edge, like in the, in this area right here, you know, about 1/4 inch in, something like that. Okay, and then some glue on this. And I've been using glue a lot more. Sharon Bittner, I noticed that she tend to grab for glue a lot, so I started playing with glue and everything. So I owe her a big thank you because she got me turned on to spending more time with the glue instead of glue dots, which is a savings. I love my glue dots. I love all adhesive. But yeah, definitely I've been enjoying that. Okay. The struggle is real, guys. If it doesn't turn out, I glued the other one on, so I can't even off camera rip it off like I used to. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know, when I would mess something up, I'd be like, oh, okay, hold on, I'll be right back. And I would go off camera and rip it off my demo and bring it back in. Guys, I can't do that. All right, I'm going to grab some masking tape. And I'm going to try to line this up as perfectly as I can. Okay. Now this is safe masking tape. And by the way, Sharon, thank you so much. I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about the masking tape. Sharon knew that I was looking for a masking tape, so she gave me another one to try. This, I'm telling you guys, are so awesome. Everyone, they're always just, you guys just amaze me all the time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I have the Big Shot Plus, the big one. That's I've had that machine for a very long time. And all right, we're about to see whether or not we've got one. Let's say, oh, I see a white border over on this side a little bit more than it should be, so it makes me nervous. All right, let's peel. I like to push, actually. Let's just see if we got good enough, okay? Guys, it's going to have to be good enough. I'm going to go with good enough, but I am going to shave it a little. So if this ever happens to you and you have that white one that's a little bit bigger on the one side, I'm just going to shave some of the white off. But now you guys can see why I will stamp and then I put them through and then I color. Truthfully, this does make me keep a little bit more because if I had done it the other way, I might have thrown this one away. Sometimes I'm just standing there with a bunch of scraps and I'm doing my cuts for a project and I'm like, okay, no, this one can go. But we're going to save this one. This guy's going to, there you go. It's saved. Ta-da! All right, I still have a little bit more, but I'm okay. Even with these down here, Like, I can trim these out a little bit too. So sometimes you can fix it, but I would love to know, do you guys color before or after? See, I used to stamp after I cut them out, but that is because the product that I used had a large border, and I know that drove some people nuts that they would do what I'm doing right now to remove some of that white border. But I always stamped after I cut. So I am curious to know, do you guys, which order do you guys do it in? Okay, so now I have my tree. Here it is. I'm going to cut just a little bit more off right here. There we go. Could have fussy cut that thing. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. And you know, guys, I have a white background here, so it's forgiving. I might want to thought about that for a second. Okay, I like that. We're going to go ahead and glue that down. You will notice I did not put like bling on my tree, but I'm going to ask you guys if we should add it. I have some clear crystals out in the center. There we go. Okay. And I kind of want to rub this a little and smooth it because I want to make sure that that glue, kind of goes down because it is on top of an embossing folder. I just want to make sure it all adheres. There it is. I love the coloring in the tree and the little lively features. Okay, so I will pull this off and put that back on my magnet because I have more of these to make. Obviously, because they're a keeper. Okay, let's reveal the magic. Ta-da! And it's all the whole thing is held in by those little pieces. That's it. So now we're going to do some other hanging cards coming up in the group as well. All right, so let's put the final touches on. Can you believe we're almost done? All that craziness, gorgeous card, and we're almost done. Okay, I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put adhesive only on these color, right? Me too. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these, thank you. So adhesive just on the two. And now this is going to get attached to the very edge. Gray. Why did I choose gray? Well, there's a silver and gold kind of thing there with doing the gray. I also had it. I had it. If something is, and notice I'm flattening the card here. Like I'm kind of making sure that I get a nice, flat thing here. There we go. If you have something that works, but it's not part of the collection, yay, use it. I will sometimes take my papers, and if there is something that matches something else, I move it with that paper. So a perfect example, the zoo paper that I'm working on with the dinosaurs. I'm working on zoo paper with the dinosaurs along with some paper from Hot Diggity Dog because it had grass paper in it. And I liked that. Just keep moving your papers. Do whatever you need to do to use your product. That's the real goal, is using your product. Okay, so there we go. And now I have this Christmas. I'm just going to go right here. Ta-da. Okay, let that sit for a minute. I don't know if that one's going to be heavy enough. I might have to hold it. Okay. I am going to, like I said, kind of put a generous adhesive. I decided not to use glue on this portion because I really do love, this is my preferred adhesive and I can kind of control it, but I wanted to make sure that I got a lot of it. I feel pretty confident that I'm going to be able to. I had missed the edge there. Okay. What are you guys thinking? Oh, there's two of them. There's two of them. Okay. And this looks really good. I really like it. I can feel, hold on. I have something somewhere. Where is it? Oh, I see it. There we go. Okay. And when you close it and you start, working it a little bit and opening it and closing it and all, it will become a little more flat. Where is the birthday one? I just want to show you guys, like, it's always going to be puffy, right? So it's always going to be puffy, but you can kind of see, I wish I could turn them, like this one's actually lower than this one. So as you put them in a box or whatever, but they're never going to go flat, ever. All right, you need special mailing, you need all the things. All right, I'm going to turn this sideways and just kind of bring this up. Before I press anything down, I just want it to, I want it to do what I want it to do. Before I do it, that's okay, I'm slightly off. I don't know if it's going to be worth it for the whopping little percentage that I'm off with all that adhesive, but since I haven't pressed it down, just going to see if I can lift. And if I can't, I'm going to let it go. I know someone, while they're watching this, went, yeah, until the camera's over, and then she's going to rip it off. I'm just going to let it go. It's the tiniest bit. Okay. All right, all down, all down, all down. And by the tiniest bit, I mean that. So maybe it was worth letting it go. Okay, now what I do like to do is open this up. And sometimes if I have a little bit over, like I have right here, I cut that off. Because I cut that by hand. So it's not going to be perfect. The other thing is, wrapping it around, doing all that. Just so that the borders on this are kind of a little more perfect. Just going to shave that down. Oh, I was in a groove, but then it flipped. There we go. I'm cutting off like a minuscule amount. There you go. Okay. Guys, look at it. Oh, I'm flipped. I think it goes this way. Okay. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's try it again. Oh. All right, let's grab, I have two stickles here. I have the Christmas red and goldenrod. All right. Oh, I don't want to do the gold star first. I almost forgot, because then I might have to put my hand in it. All right, so what I'm going to do is grab a piece of scrap paper. Okay, and just start my stickles. There we go. Nice clear tip. And I'm going to follow. Can you see that little dotted line? I'm going to follow the dotted line. I'm going to turn it this way. You will know the direction to hold it by the direction that your hand wants to be held. Okay, so whichever way feels more natural to you, like you'll notice I move this, and sometimes I move my hand, but the angle of my hand doesn't really change. I'm holding it up, so that is not as straight as I would like it. That one's going to have to be just a little bit thicker. You can also go back and dab some in, but you do not want balls. So if it doesn't look the way you want it to look, you're going to wipe it in, and then you're going to wipe it in, and you're going to wipe it off. Do not wipe it onto your white or your embossing, and act quickly when you go to do that. This is where I would have put my hand in the star. There we go. Let's get this bottom one. I touched. Hold on. There we go. And there we go. Yes.
Do sound effects cost more?
No, they're free here at Creating With You, because, I am who I am, guys, and I don't see that changing no matter how fancy our tech videos get. Yeah. Okay, so now I have this goldenrod. I'm going to put a dot in the middle, and then I'm going to drag. So I'm not, filling this with my stickles. My stickles is only going in the middle, and then I'm dragging. If not, I could get it really thick anywhere else. There we go. Okay, now I have to tell you, the one that's a little thicker is kind of driving me a little nuts. This third one here. Oh, guys, you don't want to know. I opened it. I hit. Oh, what a catastrophe. Do we all see it? Let's repair, shall we? All right. Yes, I'm using the little cover for my piercing tool right now. Kind of almost like an eraser. I'm picking up what's there, and then I'm wiping it with my hands. I pulled too hard when I was showing you. You can use anything. You can use your piercing tool to get it off. Anything that will work. Just don't rub it onto the embossing. That white paper is going to be dry, really dry, and it's going to be awful to try to get it off of each and every little thing. Just keep going at it. It's wet. It's a glue. You guys, you can, kind of just keep going. And when you've erased enough, you can flip that around. Use your piercing tool. Maybe you work better with tweezers. Then when you have enough on your fingers, you wipe them on your clothes. That's what I just did. That's the running joke. If you guys don't know, I'm not an apron person, so I wear old t-shirts that I can just wipe my stamp blocks and all on. You can see here, it's all starting to go back in that one area, and I'm getting it all cleaned up. Here it is. Now I have that little section to fill in. I'm going to open the other one instead of this one so I don't mess it up again. Okay, so now what I'll do is just fill that little section in. Get a nice smooth. No one's going to know. Okay, there it is. Ta-da! Okay, I'm going to put that one down so I don't mess it up again, but we're going to go with the other one. All right, there was another option that I could have done, and you guys know they're identical. Okay, so, well, as close as can be. Okay, the decision on whether or not these are clear sparkles, there was that decision to kind of, did I want to add like a small one here, a small one here, maybe a medium and a small here, and then a couple of medium, and did I want to put little bling on it? And I said no, and I left it, but obviously that is an option as well. So I'm put it out there. I would love to know if you guys are going to bling it or not. I'm curious. I feel like with all the stickles and the gold glitter, I was okay. But all right. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody need any other measurements? Now, Sharon Roselli made a request, and we are actually going to be working on, this one's a little more difficult because of the angle cuts and everything. And you're going to have a file, but we're actually going to be working in the descriptions of the videos to put the measurements in. So I'm going to figure out how to do that with some cuts or something like that. But in the future, we're going to be doing that as well. All right. There you go, guys. See, it's not difficult. It's a lot of pieces, but it all really does come together. This is a concertina card. And happy Christmas in July. Now, all your papers, throw all your papers at it. And if you're interested in the Holly and Ivy Stamp and Thin Cut set, I'll put that information down in the description too after the video posts. That's available on the website. And then if you need these papers put together for you for like a custom paper pack to make a couple of these, please let me know, because I have plenty. I buy large amounts of papers for all the things, but I really do like this set, and you can see how it's going to work with the other projects. I'm going to bring in the teaser. Okay, such great interactive cards. Okay, so for this one here, a perfect example is I could see like maybe snow capping this in the back is my thought, and then having the trees in there. And you don't have to use the whole tree. I already kind of measured it out a little bit because I don't want it to go past the frame, that you could use different portions of the tree in there. That one would be really cute. For your front, you could have like a little set of ice skates. You could have Merry and Bright over here. You could just do the presents and then Merry Christmas, because you want to kind of keep these things simple, because they're already so fancy when we do this. Okay, Yes, please. Oh, just reach out to me personally, hun, and so I know what you want. Who wants the papers?
Sharon Roselle.
Okay, sweetie. I can try to have those for you tomorrow then, since you're going to be here. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, throw. Is this the wet one? Oh, thank goodness. Obviously, throw all your Christmas papers at this. All right, guys. I want to thank you, and then a nice Christmas verse on the back here, and sign it, and all good things. Okay. All it has. It has. I think it's. I think it's really perfect, and it doesn't. That tree is just perfect because you don't want to take away from the constant awe of the card, and it's just made to look gorgeous. Just yeah. All right. So, does anybody have any questions? Are we good? Okay, we are going to get this video posted, and then I will come in after it posts and add details and a description. There will be a delay in that getting done because I have to wait for the video to load and do some different things while we're navigating on our end how to do all of this. I'm feeling really excited though because we made it through the whole video with no buffering or anything. So I'm feeling really excited and very hopeful that maybe we are figuring lots of things out for everybody. And yeah. Okay, guys, I just want to thank you for kicking off this Christmas in July. Tomorrow, I'm also posting a calendar for the calendar of events, and that's on the Creating With You Facebook page, so you can feel free to pop over there and check things out. If you are watching this on replay, let us know that you were here. Leave me a comment. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. All those things help me out here in the YouTube community, but I will have the post out for when we're going to have our Christmas events that we have going on, our cricket class. We have a card class here tomorrow as well. We have a Christmas in July sale, and we also have Christmas themed scrapbooking kits being released later in the month as well. So we're gonna do it all month long, and I'll be here with you once a week sharing a Christmas in July focused project on lives. So each live, which is every Tuesday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, will focus on a Christmas project. However, the other projects that will also populate here on the Creating With You YouTube page will be other projects. So you're going to see me working with dinosaurs, and I'm going to be doing some scrapbook layouts, and those will not be Christmas because I can't do an entire month of it. I have things that I have to get done, and I have things that I want to share. All right, guys, thank you so much for allowing me to spend some of this crafty time with you. I hope you guys will be encouraged to have fun with this interactive concertina card. I'll make sure that I get the Design Space file posted in the links, as well as some pictures and all in the album as well. And I'll make the file public. So if you're following me in Design Space, you'll be able to get that as well. I have pulled so many pieces of paper and just thrown them on the floor while I was doing the wrap up. Guys, thank you very much. I can't tell you what it means to have made it through a video and not wonder at what point it stopped. So I had to go back and recreate something. Thank you for being here through all of it. It's been wonderful to spend this crafty time with you. You guys have a fabulous, blessed day, and Merry Christmas in July. Bye-bye.